do live in the US for the past 7 years. One, some American men feel that American women are very entitled. They feel that many American women expect a partner who fit a specific ideal. He has to be smart, attractive, successful, fit. They believe that many American women have unrealistic expectations. They expect their partners to do everything and they expect their partners to put their needs above their own. Two, because of the rise of radical feminism, there is a loss of femininity among American women, and they even started to adopt some masculine traits. Three, opportunistic behavior. A big percentage of divorces are initiated by women, and usually is because they prioritize their career and personal growth over their family life. And a lot of men also express some frustration because they feel that there is a lack of commitment and loyalty among American women. And that is why a lot of American men are now dating non American women because they believe that non American women tend to prioritize mutual respect, shared values, and commitment.
So I think that she brings up some very, very valid points. What's going on in the dating game here in the states. It's just a sheer just lack of respect and lack of people just being cordial and respective and sensitive to other people's thoughts, perspective, and values. Um, Nowadays, it's normal for men to be belittled and talked down on, and in turn, most men are going to be men. So it's just like with anything, if you back them in a corner, they're going to get defensive and act accordingly versus women using their real strength, which is care and compassion and just overall being soft. The right woman around the right man that acts caring and compassionate and soft, will that man would literally give you the world. But a lot of times men are met with anger or resentment, entitlement, and it just doesn't work in the dating age that we are living in right now. I also would like to add that karma plays a big role in life in general, whether you dating, business, people you interact with. And I think one of the biggest problem is people like to keep backup plans and other people they're dealing with in their back pocket just in case this doesn't work out, just in case that doesn't work out. And to me, I don't think that when you have that mindset or you are living that way, you are not giving whatever opportunities you have a real chance of surviving trying to talk to someone new or whatever, because the universe moves and operates off of energy and a lot of people don't realize that. So if your energy is off and overall just off kilter and not aligned with what you say you want, 9 times out of 10 you won't get the outcome that you want because you aren't acting accordingly, and a lot of people just can't seem to understand that. And then I also would like to piggyback on giving the women the benefit of the doubt as well, because a lot of women are damaged and hurt from previous relationships on how guys have misused them and taken advantage of them, and so they've kind of grown hard in a lot of ways and put up these shells and defense mechanisms. But again, like I was saying, it's a catch 22. Like, as a woman, you don't want to tolerate being messed over again, but at the same time, you lose your superpower, and that's being feminine and soft. Just like I say, a feminine, loving, caring, and soft woman can get the right man to give her the world. But just like I was saying earlier, you cannot meet a man with demands and animosity and overall negative energy. You have to bask in that femininity. That's where you get to where you want to be with the right man, in my opinion. And a lot of women do not understand that, and they have lost their way in getting back to that.
Men are traveling out of the US just to find a wife. I was watching a podcast the other day and it went on to explain why men are traveling out of the States to find a wife. To sum it all up, they say that women from other countries are well educated, classy, elegant, very feminine, and they understand how to give and take in relationships instead of being demanding, entitled, and ungrateful for things that men do for them. And I'm not saying all, but some women in America have grown so entitled and demanding. Basically, they think that they can treat a man however they want and they can get away with it. Treat a man poorly, and then they criticize their looks when they're not.
I agree with a lot of the things she is saying, but I don't think it's entitlement. I think it's a defense mechanism. They have grown tired and weary of the treatment of some men, not all men, and it has grown into them being defensive, but it's actually being very, very disrespectful and belittling to men. And like I say, if a man is a man, that masculine energy coming from a woman is going to be met with a lot of negative energy and a lot of distasteful actions on that man's part. And that's, I think that's where the two kind of bumping heads. And then I want to piggyback on social media. Like social media is taking the dating game down through there. Like it's so many different opinions and perspectives about it that it's just killing it. And you get the fed up and tired men online spewing negativity, and then you get the fed up and tired women online spewing negativity. And then they, if they catch the right person at the right time that's came out of a bad relationship or a bad situation, it just adds fuel to the fire, and that person carries that same message on. And now what's happening is here in the United States, traditional dating, traditional relationships, traditional marriage is slowly but surely disappearing over time.
In the best shape themselves. Agree or disagree all you want, but men do like feminine women. They like when women behave feminine, and they like when women take care of themselves. Want a good man, but they're tired of our BS. So much, in fact, that they're traveling overseas just to find a wife that respects.
Men love when women bask in their femininity. It gives a man the opportunity and the chance to show her how he appreciates her nurturing and caring nature and gives him the opportunity to act like a man. And if you aren't giving that man or that guy or whoever you're talking to that opportunity, then what's the point in dating? You know, if you're going to have this preconceived notion towards every man about what every other man has done to you, then how do you get to the right man under the right circumstances that's going to ultimately give you what you're looking for in a partnership, whether it's marriage or whatever you're looking for in dating? And that is a very, very key issue and aspect of what's going on. One other issue I want to piggyback on is some of the dating sites. I think that the dating sites um, are good and bad in a lot of ways. Um, Good is into it's a safer way to date people. Bad, people like to judge, and that's even on social media. People will look at your profile and literally don't know anything about you and judge you just based upon what they see, and not the person they have gotten to know. And so I think that's a caveat to dating too, is a lot of people try online dating and that fails, and then that turns into another caveat to them feeling disappointed about dating, period. And then you have that group of guys and women that like to go out and hang out and socialize, and 9 times out of 10, if you meet your person in a social setting, most of the time the relationships don't work out. Not always, but most of the time they don't work out. When you meet someone in a natural setting where it just kind of happens naturally, you may be at a gas station or a store, spark of a conversation, that's allowing the universe to do what it does best, and that's work in your favor. But just like I said, you can't take away from the universe earlier when I was mentioning the point about having these backup plans and these other people in your back pocket, thinking, okay, well, if this doesn't work out, I'm familiar with this person, I'm familiar with that person. So, you know, I don't know it all, but I think I got a good perspective on what's going on. I want y'all to like, subscribe, let me know what you all think. I appreciate it. Y'all have a blessed day.